So here's the question. Are you buried in debt? Well, the first step to digging yourself out is recognizing how you got there in the first place and admitting it. Personal finance specialist Skip Cowan is going to help us break those bad spending habits and get out of debt. Good morning, Skip.
Good morning, Nikki. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm happy about the Giants, but not happy about the fact that I am one of these people with those bad habits. And I recently read that Americans, listen to this, accumulated more than $18 billion of credit card debt in the second quarter of 2011 alone. I mean, that is a lot of money in a short period of time.
Just in the second quarter? Unbelievable.
I mean, that's the smallest period of time with so much money. So obviously, credit card debt continues to be a huge problem for all Americans.
True indeed.
So, I mean, a lot of us are living a lifestyle that really supports a costly debt habit. So let's discuss these bad habits so some of us can take the first step to admitting it and finding out some solutions that are getting out of fueling the debt addiction that we're all in.
Sure.
Let's start with retail therapy.
Retail therapy is kind of fun, really. You know, it's called mood shopping. So you're in a bad mood, you need a little uplift. Even I do that occasionally.
Do you? Okay.
But the trap, Nikki, is using a credit card. If you do it with cash, not a problem. You run out of cash, the retail therapy's over, you go back, you feel all right about it. But if you paid with a credit card and you've done a lot of it and you do it once a week, you got a problem.
Now, with layaway and things like that, you don't incur as much interest, so that's not as bad, right?
Well, no, but, I mean, layaway, eventually you got to pay for it. Again, I would recommend that it's cash. As long as it's cash, I have no problem with it at all. Retail therapy is great.
Right. You just have to do it with cash.
Do it with cash. Keep the plastic in your pocket.
Well, something that kind of goes along with this is that we often make impulsive purchases, and that's the second bad habit. So what do we do about that?
You know, I'm probably guilty of that like crazy.
Okay.
Most of my family's grocery shopping. And I walk through every aisle every time. I don't know why. But it's just something that just jumps out at me. I buy it, right?
Sure.
But it's not like I'm spending $100 or $200.
Okay.
Do you know there are people that are Groupon junkies?
Are there really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, every day they watch Groupon and look for the deal of the day, and they can't pass it up.
Well, those pop up on your email every day, and they are enticing. I've been fortunate to have the strength to press delete, but I know a lot of people don't.
I look at them every day, too, but I don't buy them. But 50 to 60% off, some people think, oh, my gosh, I can't pass this up.
And then they never use it, right?
Never use it, but use the plastic, and the next thing you know, you got a pile of debt and nothing to show for it.
So really stop and think before you make those impulsive choices.
You absolutely have to. And even in the grocery store, and again, I'm guilty of it myself.
Me too. Me too. And another really bad habit is a lot of us end up borrowing money because we get into that, situation, so we turn to our family and friends.
Borrowing is a bad habit. Not necessarily borrowing from a bank and paying back a loan.
Okay.
But what I'm talking about here is borrowing money from friends, borrowing household items from friends, tools from your buddies, right? And you never bring them back.
Exactly.
Or you never pay the loan back.
Right.
That can be a bad habit, and it'll cost you friendships in the end, too.
Yeah, and it does put a wedge between family members and friends. I mean, I've seen it, and it's a tough thing.
It's tough. It really is. I mean, when you're dealing with a family member that owes you money, and you think, gee, it's uncomfortable.
Well, and then the fourth bad habit is something that you kind of were talking about. It's paying things with credit cards, because you know that you're earning a portion of, you're earning a portion of the money back, because it's in the form of cash sometimes, or in rewards if you're spending on your card. You know how that goes.
Oh, absolutely. But think about this. You spend $100 and you get $1 back.
That's true.
Is that a good deal?
Not really.
I don't think so. And rewards, okay. If you're really close to a Southwest Airlines ticket and using that Southwest card, I could maybe go with that. But, just for getting the reward for the reward's sake, you're creating debt to get a reward. It just makes
not worth it.
It makes no sense.
It's not worth it. And another bad habit is that routinely we transfer our balances every 6 months. You have that option. So is that a bad idea, really?
Well, as you know, I'm an advocate of looking for the best interest rate deal. And sometimes a balance transfer makes sense.
Okay.
But if you're playing round robin with your credit cards, and you end up a year from now with the same card that you had 6 months before, come on. It makes no sense.
Right.
And if you're paying MasterCard with Visa, you're in a trap.
You're
and
right.
it's a really bad habit.
It is a bad habit, and people need to be aware of that. And also another question I think a lot of people will have is, what about living on interest-free financing? You know, because the lure of have it now, pay for it later, that's hard to resist. Come on, you know it is.
Oh, I love interest-free. I love it. I walk into Best Buy, and that's always on my mind. I'm going to get that big screen TV,
Yeah.
and I got 36 months to pay for it. It's fantastic. Right. The problem here is that if you're in the habit of doing that, you get too many of those deals, pretty soon you can't make the minimum payment, or you don't make it on time, and suddenly you're paying a lot of interest that you shouldn't have had to pay.
True.
Be careful with those deals.
Okay, good advice. And the final one is something that a lot of us get caught up in, which is keeping up with the Joneses.
Oh,
that's
my
tough to
gosh,
beat.
that is so tough. I mean, you know, you look around your neighborhood and you look next door,
Yes.
the guy in the apartment next to you, he's got a Mercedes-Benz, you're driving a Hyundai. It's, you know, it starts to blow your mind after a while.
It does.
You can't do it.
Can't do it.
Everybody lives a different lifestyle except yours. Be comfortable within your own skin. Stay within your debt limits, and you'll be fine.
Great advice I need to take. Thank you so much, Skip.
Always a
really,
pleasure.
Very informative as always. And coming up next on New Mexico Style, Love Potions with the Liquid Muse. You don't want to miss this.